Hey guys, Floyd here. Another edition of From the Cage. What we have here is, it kind of looks plain Jane, nothing really special about it, but actually, this is one of the first X-Series guitars we did. This is the DX1. I've heard rumors about this thing, like, I don't know, Tim Teel had the idea, like, working in his kitchen or something to the effect. So Chris Martin and Tim Teel will elaborate a little bit more on this for us.
Year was about 1997. I just got out of the production area into what was called the pilot plant at the time, precursor to research and development. We would go to these meetings to talk about how can we produce a guitar in Nazareth at a certain price point. And back in those days, the price point was a $599 retail price. There was a lot of ideas. It was a small team, but very creative. And, this went on for a few months. While that was going on, just so happened I was looking to renovate our dining room and kitchen. And started going into all these hardware stores and home stores. And I would see these already finished panels. And I thought, we're talking about how we can reduce the cost on an acoustic guitar. And there's two halves of guitar making. There's the building part and the finishing part. So if we could save money on the finishing side of it, it's quite possible that we could meet those price points. So I made a guitar, took it to a meeting, and we discussed the guitar and we discussed alternatives to that guitar. And at the very end of it, Chris said, well, I don't think anything else is going to get us there except for what Tim brought in. And he looks over at our president at the time, who was Bob Hoke. He said to Bob, well, Bob, do you want to tell Tim or should I? He said, well, about a year ago, a gentleman came in claiming he had a patent on high-pressure laminates. And he said, would we like to license the idea? Of course, at the time, they said no.
A gentleman comes up. It's Mr. Martin. Nice to meet you. I'm Jim Witchell. May I show you the guitar I invented? I said, sure. Always a little leery when someone wants to show me their invention. In fact, today, the company's attorneys have advised me not to have a conversation with inventors and to actually let someone else in the company, first of all, say to the inventor, do you have a patent? Or is your product patent pending? Because we don't want you to come back to us and say, hey, you stole my idea. But I had a conversation with Jim. And I said, all right, what do you got? He opens up the case and I look at it, I go, that's pretty well made. I think I said that to him. I said, Jim, that's a well-made guitar. He said, I didn't make the guitar. I didn't make the guitar. It's my idea. But I commissioned the Pimentel brothers. They were well-known luthiers in the Albuquerque area. They built this prototype for me. I said, oh, that's cool. What's up? He said, well, I want you to make it. And I said, but Jim, I can't wrap my head around how we could make that guitar in Nazareth at an affordable price, because it has to be affordable. I said, boy, Jim, I don't know. Keep in touch.
Seeing that we could actually make one in a prototype form, we thought we'd explore it a little further.
Called Jim. He said, I've been waiting a long time for this call. I said, Jim, I think we're ready. We had been making more affordable guitars in Nazareth. It's something we realized we had to focus on, that we had to do. I've never wanted Martin guitars to have the reputation, oh, they're just for wealthy people. Now a D50, possibly, but your first Martin, you should be able to afford it without having to take out a loan. And so we cut a deal with Jim, and we started to make them in Nazareth. And this is the first one, I don't know if it's the first one, but it's from that first series, all HPL.
That was back in 1998, this guitar has launched. The first version of it had an HPL top with some innovative bracing on it. Some of the interesting things that happened along the way is high-pressure laminate, in this case a decorative high-pressure laminate, can be decorated with wood grains and or other graphics.
This is a photograph of a Martin guitar top, and then we partnered with the vendor who makes the HPL, and they incorporated it into the tops.
So with the decorative high-pressure laminate, of course, you can print different type of wood grains that would get laid up in the makeup of the high-pressure laminate, or you can add a graphic. In this case, we partnered with Robert Getzel, and this was the very first Robert Getzel artwork that we did. Robert did a hand-painted version of this, and then we actually had this version to celebrate our 175th anniversary. This was made into a decorative laminate for the soundboard. Of course, you guys have already seen some of the Felix the Cat guitars we've done in the past and some other really cool ones. So this platform, the X Series, really took off. And why was it called X? Well, it's because it's our experimental series. This is a platform that we can try different materials, different graphics, and really have some fun with.
This platform has been a great opportunity for us to experiment, to try things that maybe we would be reluctant to try.
We had a good reaction to it. Some folks wanted to hear more of that wood soundboard sound that they're always used to hearing.
So the next step was, what could we do to improve the tone? Solid spruce top. So now you've got a traditional solid wood top with HPL back and sides. And the back and sides, they're a reflective surface. They take the sound that's basically generated from the top, massage it a little bit, and push it up and out to the audience. And so we've had a tremendous amount of success with solid spruce top HPL guitars.
So thinking back on the start of the X Series, I remember us making 4 guitars a day. And that was back in 1998. As the series progressed, other artists had discovered it. There's Ed Sheeran for one. He played a Little Martin X Series. That guitar played Wembley Stadium. Quite fascinating that such a humble instrument could get that many people excited in the hands of the right artist. There's been all kinds of other musical artists who have embraced the X Series and have played them in many different ways in different venues. We also found pretty early on that folks who owned full wood models really like these for traveling. They really like them for if they have a summer home or a winter home, because they are less expensive. They're able to kind of keep them in different spots without having to take another guitar. Thinking back on the start of the project and with all the advancements we've made over the years and how they've been accepted into the marketplace, really warms my heart. And seeing the new line developing that's been remastered, I give a lot of credit to my colleague Ramin, who's taking the lead now on this X Series, and that's the new generation. So I'm excited to see how things progress over the next 25 years.
These are great value. This is your first Martin. Hopefully it's not your last. They're really durable. Check it out. If you don't have one, you should. They're a great guitar to travel around with.
I just want to thank Chris and Tim for helping us out with this episode of From the Cage. So I'll see you next month.